Amber Portwood's teenage daughter, Leah Shirley, is breaking her silence on her parents' violent Teen Mom episodes. Her father, Gary Shirley, was engaged to Amber for a short time, and they had an extremely combative relationship. It was showcased on the hit MTV reality series, and they eventually parted ways, attempting to co-parent Leah. Now, as Leah is 16 years old, how does she feel seeing her parents go at it? Keep reading for more details. Amber Portwood's daughter confronted by parents past. When Amber Portwood was a teenager, she and her boyfriend, Gary Shirley, found themselves pregnant. They got engaged and welcomed their daughter Leah, but it was very difficult. Eventually, it became an aggressive situation, and the two had to part ways. He moved on with a woman named Christina. They tied the knot and welcomed a daughter, Emily. As for Amber, she floated from man to man while battling mental health and substance abuse issues. Gary took custody of Leah and wanted to create stability for her, which Amber could not. Gary Shirley. Leah Shirley Amber did have a baby, James, with her then-boyfriend, Andrew Glennon, who she was caught verbally assaulting, but they split. He then took James to California, where his family lived, which was quite far from Indiana. She found another man, Gary Waite, and quickly became engaged while neglecting Leah. Amber did not understand why Leah wanted to be adopted by her stepmother, or why she was disinterested in her mother. Now, according to E! News, things have further shifted for Leah as she has finally seen her parents' violent fights. During the Thursday, February 20th episode of Teen Mom: The Next Chapter, Leah Shirley revealed she watched some old footage of her parents. She saw the aggressive battles between Amber Portwood and Gary Shirley, but what was her reaction? Leah explained to Gary that initially she was messaged by a friend. My friend messaged me and she's like, "Are you on a TV show?" And I was like, "Yeah," and she's like, "A video just popped up on my TikTok." And I was like, "Oh, it's just weird. I've been seeing a lot of TikTok videos with old clips and stuff." She went on to add that some of the clips she saw were the combative ones between her parents, and they have been hard to watch. The bad, the worse, and the ugly. Leah Shirley shared that she mainly sees Teen Mom clips from when she was around 2. It shows Amber Portwood screaming at Gary Shirley to leave, plus she sees her mother abandoning her. Those cut like a knife. I see the older ones from when I was like 2, and it's just weird to watch because it's always like Amber screaming at you and you leave. And then there's one clip where she's yelling like, "Why is Leah crying?" when she's in a complete opposite room just leaving me. And it's just weird. I think those ones are kind of painful to watch because it's little me. Leah has asked for her stepmom to adopt her, even calling Christina mom. She does not really see Amber as her mother, but that does not sit well with her biological mother. When she learned that Leah wanted to be adopted, she claimed she would do what she had to stop it. Admittedly, Leah claims her mother has left her with a lot of issues. Gary felt awful knowing Leah had seen the videos and wished he had grabbed her and left ASAP. She reassured him it was not his fault and is considering therapy. For 16-year-old Leah Shirley, the past has never been a distant, hazy concept. It has been a living, breathing entity, shaped by court documents, family conversations, and the quiet stability of her father's home. But recently, the past erupted into her present with the visceral force of a digital earthquake, delivered through the unlikely medium of a TikTok notification. The daughter of Teen Mom originals Amber Portwood and Gary Shirley is finally breaking her silence, confronting the televised trauma of her parents' relationship and grappling with the profound, painful legacy it has left on her life. Her story is no longer just a subplot in a reality TV saga. It's a powerful testament to the enduring, often unforeseen, consequences of broadcasting a family's most vulnerable moments for the world to see. The catalyst for this profound reckoning was deceptively simple. My friend messaged me and she's like, "Are you on a TV show?" Leah recounted to her father, Gary, in a recent emotionally charged episode of Teen Mom: The Next Chapter. And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "A video just popped up on my TikTok." And I was like, "Oh." That "oh" carried the weight of 1,000 unspoken questions. For years, Leah had existed in a bubble carefully curated by her father, a world focused on school, friends, and the loving embrace of her stepmother, Christina Shirley. The chaotic early chapters of her life captured on MTV's cameras were something she knew about intellectually but had never truly seen. Now, the algorithm had thrust a time capsule directly into her hands, and it was filled with ghosts. "I've been seeing a lot of TikTok videos with old clips and stuff," Leah explained. her voice a mixture of teenage nonchalance and underlying shock. These weren't just highlight reels. They were raw, unfiltered snippets from a period of her life she was too young to remember. "I see the older ones from when I was like 2, she shared. The clips paint a grim picture, a young, overwhelmed Amber Portwood screaming at a young, frustrated Gary Shirley. She sees her mother's rage, her father's retreat, and, most hauntingly, herself as a toddler caught in the crossfire. "It's just weird to watch because it's always like Amber screaming at you and you leave," she told Gary. "And then there's one clip where she's yelling like, 'Why is Leah crying?' When she's in a complete opposite room just leaving me. And it's just weird. I think those ones are kind of painful to watch because it's little me." The word weird is a shield, a teenage understatement for the complex storm of emotions brewing beneath the surface. Confusion, betrayal, and a deep aching sadness for the helpless child she once was. To understand the depth of Leah's current pain, one must travel back to the beginning, to the very genesis of the Teen Mom franchise. Amber Portwood and Gary Shirley were not just reality TV stars. They were teenagers from Indiana who found themselves expecting a child. Their engagement and Leah's birth in 2009 were documented on 16 and Pregnant, a show that catapulted them into a world of instant fame and relentless scrutiny. The cameras, initially invited to document the struggles of young parenthood, became silent witnesses to a relationship spiraling into toxicity. Their arguments were explosive, their interactions often combative and fraught with tension. What might have been a difficult but private breakup for any young couple became a public spectacle, analyzed and debated by millions of viewers. The very footage that now haunts Leah was, at the time, the defining element of their storyline, cementing their place in reality television history at an immense personal cost. The eventual parting of ways for Amber and Gary was less a clean break and more a fracturing of their world. Gary, recognizing the instability that had engulfed their lives, made a pivotal decision. He would seek to create a haven of normalcy for their daughter. He moved on, finding a partner in Christina Anderson, a woman who would become the steady maternal figure Leah craved. Their marriage and the birth of their daughter, Emile, forged a new family unit, one built on a foundation of consistency and love that had been absent in Leah's earliest years. Gary was granted primary custody of Leah, and in the Shirley household, she found the stability that her biological mother, at that time, could not provide. Amber's path, in stark contrast, became a cautionary tale of the pressures of fame and untreated mental health issues. She floated from one relationship to another, her struggles with substance abuse and severe depression playing out on subsequent seasons of the show. Her journey was marked by stints in prison, rehab, and a public battle to regain custody of her children. She later had a son, James, with then-boyfriend Andrew Glennon, but that relationship also ended in turmoil and a highly publicized arrest for domestic assault. Andrew ultimately took James to California, placing thousands of miles between him and his mother. More recently, a whirlwind engagement to a man named Gary Waite ended just as quickly, with Amber once again facing public criticism for what was perceived as a pattern of prioritizing new relationships over her existing maternal responsibilities.